Colonization happened when a bunch of greedy people, using religion as the pretext, went out into the world and stole everything. What goes around comes around. So this is why yoga is reverse colonizing the world. Namaste, and welcome to Vedic Vidya. My name is Jeffrey Armstrong, Kavindra Rishi. Vedic Vidya is available exclusively on Citti Media English channel Sunday nights at 7 p.m. IST. Our topic tonight is why yoga is spreading throughout America, Europe, and the entire world without a budget, or why yoga is reverse colonizing the world. Let's begin with the obvious. That is obvious to anyone who's a yogi, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, what goes around comes around. Time cycles of all kinds of lengths and consequences and implications are the basis of the concept of reincarnation, because it is we who do not want to die. Raise your hand if you'd like to, just to be clear. Right, then you must be suffering a great deal. But that would be the only reason. Otherwise, most beings here, human or otherwise, cling to life for the very last minute and then reluctantly let go. So all you really need to know is what goes around comes around is the basis of life, not just matter as we see it. After all, science is nothing but cause and effect. Am I correct? Is it ambiguous? Only until you know the laws governing it. So let's just stretch our imaginations a little bit and say that all of us, every living entity on this beautiful planet of ours, which in Sanskrit is called Mata Bhumi. Oh, by the way, that's where the word human came from. Bhumi, the B was dropped, it became a humi. That's where we humans came from. Humanity, even humus, the dirt that grows our food and gives us life. That's all from the Sanskrit name for Mother Earth. Gaia later, but first and foremost, the human place, Mata Bhumi, where the humus hangs out. Well, you get it. So if you'll just think of this idea for a moment, don't accept it yet, but embrace it as a possibility, then yoga is simply giving back the independence to each living entity by saying, it's all right, you're an immortal being. You actually cannot die, so relax. The teachings of yoga really say, chill, relax. You can't die. You're immortal. So first, get over all of that death anxiety. It can't happen to you ever. Now, that should relax you. Take a deep breath. Nice, that's yoga too. So let me ask you a question before we go further. Did your school teach you meditation? Did your school, along with all the academics, teach you to breathe correctly? Did your school teach you specific exercises to flex the body and open it up so that it's optimized every minute of every day? With an understanding of physiology so you would know how to do that? I doubt it. Mine didn't. And if yours did, you were born in India. The right kind of school. After all, remember, India, as we know it now, is post 300 years of rape and pillage colonization, so don't judge a book by its cover. But you should read the book, and that's part of what we're talking about here. Vedic Vidya, knowledge from the ancient culture that was all about, first and foremost, correct embodiment. So in school, in grade school, junior high, secondary as some call it, high school, university, correct embodiment 101, 401? Never heard of it. Psychology, I have a degree in it. Correct embodiment, never heard about it. So how is that? This is such a deficiency, we don't even know how to think that we have it. We think normal is not having it. So don't get confused when someone says yoga. Yoga is correct embodiment with one caveat, that the consciousness inside the body is an immortal being known as an Atma, A-T-M-A. In fact, the word atomic, which is Latin, is atome. The English word atomic is from the Latin atome, which is from the Sanskrit atma, and it simply means you cannot destroy it. Can't cut it, can't break it. It used to be thought that the atom could not be cut. Turns out that was incorrect. But the concept that we cannot be cut, that we cannot die, this fear of our demise is the basis of all psychology and all suffering and all of our terror. Some of the world's religions have capitalized upon they have capitalized upon that and said, oh yes, not only do you die, but you're going to go to hell. You're going to go suffer forever and ever and ever and be roasted at some cosmic barbecue. Does that sound lovely? I always liked that one. That's a good way to start a conversation. If you don't do what I say, we're sending you to the eternal barbecue. If you believe that, you're stupid. If you believe that, you don't believe in love. No loving being or reality, no supreme of any merit would threaten us with such a threat. Your temporary imperfections led you to immortal torture. Sound lovely? Not so much. So why then would yoga, which teaches everyone correct embodiment, no, wait, there's something else. I need to tell you this. 80% of the people doing yoga are female. What a coincidence. Because the female body is the most sophisticated body. Would you argue with that? It's like a much more refined clock. The male body is tick-tock, 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 duh, obvious. Female body cycles within equipment that makes another human being. Oh, my heart goes out to all the ladies. It's a much more difficult embodiment, much more refined. In a rough world like we live in, I would put forward to you that actually females were the first to get that yoga, first and foremost, helps you re-embody if you didn't have a lot of help when you did it the first time. So all this misunderstanding of what yoga is spread by the propaganda of people who don't understand it or don't like it or don't think it's alien and don't want anything else coming into their culture. But you see, reincarnation means what goes around comes around. So for the last 300 years, a certain group of people, you know who they are, I don't have to tell you, went out in the world and stole everything. Stole the land, enslaved the people, and so on. And then they stole all their stuff and took it home and got wealthy and, made them into slaves. The kind of stuff we're just recovering from now. So what if in that recovery, we're learning two things? That we're an immortal being and that we're all valuable. That's what this means. Namaste. This is the first yoga posture and final. It means I see myself as an immortal being and I see you the same way. That's for everyone. You don't earn that, you have it. You are it. You can't lose it. This is yoga talking. You can't lose it. Now, just think for a moment, psychologically, if that's true, is that a bit of a relief? Are you kidding? I have a degree in psychology, almost a PhD in it. I got bored. But let me tell you that this is the number one anxiety for everyone. Birth, death, old age, and disease. That about covers it, right? Birth's very dangerous and traumatic. Death is very uncomfortable, DNR. If I'm no longer useless, DNR, folks. How about you? Want to lie in a bed for another 10 years doing nothing but suffering? So, birth, death, old age, disease. Yoga says, here's the solution. First, you can't die. Focus on that. Wait, it says before you do that, let's make sure you're relaxed. So, that's what yoga asanas are. They're things you do to your body so that you open the gateways and the energy flows smoothly. And then, what energy? Oh, the one that you bring in by breathing. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Have you ever noticed if you're getting angry and you watch your breath, you don't get angry? You ever seen an animal that's afraid? Being chased by the rabbit being chased by the fox? A whole civilization being intimidated by COVID? Oh wait, never mind. Your blood pressure goes up, your breathing is damaged, altered, your body doesn't receive energy. So what if, these are the things we should have learned to embody. And what if the ladies are smarter about embodiment than everyone else? And when someone came to them and said, here, let's re-embody, they said, sign me up. Yes, please. But yoga then says to you, namaste. Day after day, namaste. Lest you forget, you're an immortal being. Lest you forget, you're divine. Lest you forget, you're not the body. Well, that gets rid of all the black is beautiful or black is ugly or I don't like this color or that color, because that's got nothing to do with you. That's just the skin you're wearing. That's the paint job on your car. Why would we judge people that way? Because we only think there's one life. But yoga says, no, 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 no. You have as many lives as you'd like. Relax, breathe. Ooh, I'm feeling better already. Yes, because of the psychosomatic connection in your body, the mind-body link, you are feeling better already. Listen carefully. You're feeling better already. Relax. Okay. It's not hypnotism. It's learning how to manage the vehicle better. So, my proposition to you is that because reincarnation, or as they say in the South, reincarnation, it's the same thing, you keep coming back. Not as a punishment, to finish what you are working on. Just imagine that life is a work in progress. After all, I can tell you I'm this way. I'm a poet. I have hundreds and hundreds, even thousands of poems that I've written throughout my life. Now, if I had an extra 10 years, I'd make them all into beautiful books. What if I don't? What if I leave my body thinking, but what about my poetry? Or what about this? Or what about that? Well, it probably means that I'm saying to the divine, I'm not finished. Now, if you only had one lifetime, that's it, game over. Does that make sense to you? Does that sound like a great use of your time and the rest of the world? Or does it make more sense to say you're an immortal being, which is why you don't want to die? Let's think about that for a second. If you're an immortal being, of course you don't want to die. But if you're still working on something, then maybe you come back and get another body. It's not a punishment. Karma is not punishment. Who told you that? Oh, I know. You were hearing that we were getting punished anyway. So you thought cause and effect was punishment. That's not scientific, is it? Is every action has an equal and opposite action punishment? No. Well, then just relax and think about it. You're an immortal being. You're here. What you want, you go after. If you go after it the wrong way, go against the laws of nature, there'll be a problem. If you do it the right way, it'll be smooth. Problem will make you suffer a little bit. Smooth will make you happy. So let's just say we all have a backlog of bumpy and smooth, the results of our past actions. So if you're getting bumpy right now, it's something in your past actions, unless someone's just torturing you, trying to hurt you. They're opening a new yogic karmic account with you then. But otherwise, just take a long view. So my name for our universe, I invented this to explain it to me and you, is that what if it's a university? Then, moving on to yoga, all you have to be is at a certain grade level of cause and effect, a certain grade level of learning, and you have questions that have not been answered in the ordinary classes. So I want to be respectful to all the teachers I had and say, thank you for what you taught me. But that they left out vitamins that they didn't have is no surprise. So I want you to understand, this is what India is. India is a place where the ancient science of yoga, the relationship between our immortal Atma and the world of physical reality, has been explained for hundreds of thousands of years. It's where that idea emanated from. And therefore, at this time, when the world is being turned upside down in a myriad of ways, by technology, by everything, who's coming back are the persons who are trying to graduate. So think of all of the people doing yoga as going into a master's degree program, trying to get mastery over being embodied. That's all for now. Just trying to master that. So this is why yoga is reverse colonizing the world. Colonization happened when a bunch of greedy people, using religion as the pretext, went out into the world and stole everything. It's very simple, don't complicate it. No religion worth its salt would tell people to do that. So if it happened in the name of religion, don't get mad at religion. Learn to tell the difference between so-called religion and religion. But sincere religion's trying to go back to the source. Bravo, lovely. So is yoga. It's the same principle, trying to make a link. Yoga means to link between yourself and something. But ultimately, it would be nice if you had a direct hotline to the source of everything, wouldn't it? Now don't be greedy and say, this is what I want, this is what I want. Wouldn't it be nicer to say, this is how I'd like to serve, this is how I'd like to serve, or tell me how to serve better? Our planet has just had 300 years of greedy buggers going around the world, enslaving people and stealing everything. And we're in the midst of a backlash. That's finishing itself as corporations without a conscience. Now, if you have a corporation with a conscience, welcome to the club. That's yoga. If you're a corporation without conscience, then all you think about is greed. All you're answerable to is your board of directors. That is evil. It's not just a mistake. That's evil. You're just collecting profit and benefiting no one. So you're just a colonizer called a corporation. But if you're a corporation that cares and has conscience and recycles and looks to the future of the planet, then bravo, congratulations, keep working. Yoga's not against working. Yoga's against destroying when it's not necessary. There's a moment when it is, flush the toilet, but that's different. Most of the time, it's keeping the balance, isn't it? So in a world without balance, wouldn't studying the art of balance, yoga, make sense? It does to me. I do it every morning and every evening and all during the day. Because it's the moments when I realize the world's getting me off balance. Look, if I talk to you like this, does that feel right? No, it feels awkward. Because I'm getting bent and twisted. What if I come back and go, there we are. Look at that, back at balance. That's yoga. So first of all, don't believe the propaganda about what yoga is. Talk to someone who really knows and is practicing it. And secondly, if you haven't been taught it yet, I suggest you learn it. It'll be useful to you. Whatever your religion is, whatever the rest of your viewpoint is. And of course, when you look at the cause and effect that is affecting our entire world, it is what goes around comes around. And with that in mind, try to have a namas day. Try to have a balanced day where you harmonize as much as possible with the laws of nature. And remember, Vedic Vidya means shining the light of truth. Tune into Vedic Vidya on the Citti Media English channel Sunday nights at 7 p.m. IST. My name is Govinda Rishi, Jeffrey Armstrong. See you next time, and have a namas day.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. धन्यवाद. नमस्कार.